Okay, how about the sound now? Let me know. I'll start over from the top. Thank you so much for letting me know, and it's good to see you, Karen, and Christine, and Allison. Oh, I do see my audio coming back online. Sorry about that. My apologies, but welcome. I'm Danielle from Learn Reiki Philadelphia. Welcome to Community Distance Reiki. Oh, great. Thank you. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. And if you are watching this on the replay, you are guaranteed to have just as healing a time as if you would have if you were live. If you would like to join me live, go ahead and check out the description. It has all the dates and times, same days, same times every week, where you can just join me here on YouTube and take part in the open chat where you can make any requests for healing, be it specific crystals and stones or to support any kind of healing need. The first half an hour we'll spend going through and building this crystal grid based on your requests for crystals and healing. Then I'll briefly explain what Reiki is to those who are new to the concept. And then for the final half an hour, I will send lots of distance energy healing as well as crystal healing to you wherever you happen to be in the world, whenever you happen to be watching this. So all you'll need to do is sit or lie comfortably and hang out and enjoy. So welcome in, everyone. Go ahead. Thank you so much for waiting through for me to fix the audio issues. I deeply appreciate that. For those of you who are interested in any information about my online Reiki classes, any of my social media contact, my online community Discord, or my crystal shop, go ahead and check that all out in the description below. And go ahead and make any healing requests you have. I'm grateful to say we have a couple already. There's a couple of crystals that have been requested that I don't have, but several that I do. So really excited about it. I have septarian, garnet, rutilated quartz, and green kyanite ready for everyone. And I feel like that's going to be pretty epic. We have been, as we talked about at the 4 o'clock healing earlier today, the astrology right now is really intense and a lot of emotions for people, a lot of introspection, and a lot of things coming up that just aren't working, that need to be addressed. A lot of room for shadow work and emotional growth. And shadow work really means the parts of ourself that need to be healed, that are the most difficult to get to, that are the hardest to reach, kind of like hiding in the junk drawer of stuff we need to deal with. That's shadow work. It's necessary and it's not always easy, but we definitely have some crystals to help support all of that. Awesome. So let's go ahead, especially the request for septarian. What a beautiful addition for this energy. I'm so glad that that request was made. I actually pulled some stock from my website shop to help with the grid, and I think I'm just going to put it into the usual rotation. So we'll start with the rutilated quartz. Rutilated quartz is, here, let me actually, boom. Aha, now you can see these. So let's go ahead and build our grid together. This is rutilated quartz. Those of you who've been here before know this is one of our favorites. Anybody that's working in crystal healing or Reiki, this is such an incredible all-purpose stone. As I hold it a little bit closer, you might be able to see those threads running through of gold and silver, respectively. Rutilated quartz is excellent for giving us physical energy, balancing mind, heart, body, and soul, calming the mind, and also for sending the healing exactly where it needs to go. So we'll start there. And then any other requests, go on ahead and shout them out. I know some of you requested a little earlier, so I'll go ahead and add some more of what you had. Yeah, I remember what you had asked for earlier. Self-love, letting go of attachments and outcomes, you got it. Carnelian, absolutely. Let's grab some carnelian. Yeah, future someone, thank you so much for requesting Septarian. Can you hear? Okay, are you hearing me better now? I hope so. Yep, here we go. The next we have is some green kyanite. This is a stone that I've been using a lot for the lungs. And given when COVID was really, really bad, a lot of folks were struggling with their lungs. I'm actually going to go ahead and use this as an opportunity. Oh, good, you're hearing things. Well, okay. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and look up what another crystal healer would suggest is great for green kyanite if they have a suggestion. But yeah, this is one that I use a lot of times for lungs, breathing, and anytime that folks are having a lot of emotions where they feel almost like they're stuck, like emotions that get stuck in the heart. So if we have time, I may look up the healing potential of green kyanite according to someone else, just to kind of broaden our perspective and give us some new ideas for how it might work. Yeah, the septarian is wonderful, which we'll just get to that next. Yeah, there are a lot of people getting COVID again. I had a friend invite me to something tomorrow, and I'm like, no thanks. Here you go. This is septarian. So septarian is this beautiful like yellow and brown. This is what it looks like raw. Septarian helps us to do deep emotional healing on the level of shadow work, like I was mentioning before. The parts of us that are a little bit more challenging to get to, like the deep down nitty gritty, harder healing work, the deep emotional wounds that we have. Septarian doesn't just help us get there, it empowers us to feel like we can go to places that we usually are walled off from working with, that we usually are just like, no, that's too much for me. It can help us to feel supported and grounded while we reach a little deeper. It works really well with the solar plexus chakra in that it empowers us to say, this is me, this is who I am, and I feel motivated to do this work to benefit myself in the future. It's an excellent stone for that. Works really well with indigo gabbro, which came out at the last healing, which is excellent for bringing things to our attention. Specifically things bringing things to our attention that have to do with things that we've yet to heal. Patterns, thoughts, habits, beliefs that may be holding us back. Indigo gabbro can help us find what they are so that we can kind of work through them and let them go. Next request was for garnet. It's a very Capricorn stone in all the ways that you would think a Capricorn to be. Very good for helping us to set priorities. Very good for helping us to come up with a plan for things, for balancing larger projects, delegating, organizing, physical pain and healing the emotion. Yep, absolutely. Emotional healing, definitely have you here with the septarian. Septarian is great for healing the emotional stuff that is really deep-seated and helping us go to our deeper recesses where we're a little bit more frightened to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of our emotional healing. Septarian can be wonderful for that. And for physical pain, I'll add some celestite to the mix. Garnet can also be excellent for the root chakra. So everything about feeling secure and stable and physically safe, which can be excellent when we're doing this kind of shadow work. It can be very unmooring. It can be very, it can make you feel a little bit like the ground under your feet is kind of moving. This is one that can help you feel like, okay, I'm safe, I'm secure, I can go a little bit more, or at least I can feel safe with where I'm at. Carnelian helps with relationships and how we relate to others and group dynamics. It's excellent for workplaces, family environments. We're coming up on a family-based holiday, so it can really help to harmonize those interpersonal relationships and the ways that we connect and relate to each other. And especially now that we're in that Mercury retrograde, it makes it hard to kind of communicate. Carnelian can really help iron out some of the bumps and really help us to get along a little bit better. Mental clarity. Hello. It's good to see you. Good to see you, heart. Ah, gotcha. So celestite has two big purposes now. Help with health issues. Yep, absolutely. Physical pain. Yes. So one that helps with physical pain and the request for communicating with guardians, guides, angels, ancestors, celestite. It's great for pain. It's also great for connecting with our angels and our angel guides. So I'm going to go ahead and add a liberal amount of celestite. When celestite is allowed to mature in the earth longer, under pressure and with heat, over time it turns into Angelite. Angelite is another stone that's wonderful for connecting with angels and guides. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of Angelite too. Angelite, here it is next to celestite. So you can see that there's definitely a connection between the two. But yeah, Angelite is just what you would think. It's a connection to our angels, this beautiful, beautiful, divine, angelic blue. It just looks like something you wouldn't find in the ground, but yet that is where it comes from. Quartz, copper, red tiger eye, you got it. Security and stability. Definitely garnet and red tiger eye as by request. Motivate to lose weight. I'll look that up. I'll look up what other people have used for that, and I think that could help. I'll totally look that up for you. Okay, so this is red tiger eye. This really helps, along with garnet, to help with the root chakra and feeling stable, safe, secure. It's also highly protective of other people's energy. So one of you had mentioned that, grounding us from the energy of the stress of others and like hate, war, things like that. This is one of those stones that can really help. This can even help in cases of, for those of us who work in energy work and things like that, any kind of really negative energy, highly negative energy, red tiger eye can really work for that. It's also excellent for the blood and circulation and high blood pressure. It's indicated as a helper for all of those things. So let's see. I always make my grids fairly... I tend to make my grids fairly intuitively in terms of where I put things and how. Yeah, there's crystals to help home. I would say carnelian is a great stone to help home. It helps with the interpersonal relationships around home. And red tiger eye is one that I often recommend for folks kind of balancing the energy of home if they want to keep the energy clear. Let's see. Let's see. Copper helps to facilitate the movement of energy, particularly Reiki. It's much like you would see copper in wires. It's because it's excellent at moving energy. It's excellent at moving electricity. So yeah, it's very much the same in earth healing. So here we have some copper. Emotional regulation, I would say the septarian will help, but the Rutilated Quartz can help too. Let me see what else I can grab for us, and I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Open heart, mental clarity, bringing in help. Yeah. Opening the heart and mental clarity is definitely Rutilated Quartz. Also helps with balancing heart and mind. Communication. Okay. For connection with our guides and ancestors, and I found another one that I think is really going to work for a lot of the requests around emotional balance, which I'll get to in just a moment, one that we don't work with here too often, but it really is jumping out at me. But before I get to that, connection with our animal guides and our ancestors, excellent stone for that, leopardskin jasper. This is used by many cultures in shamanic healing rites. I'm going to go ahead and put it on both sides of this Angelite. So as we're calling on our angels, we'll also get our healing guides and our ancestors. There we go. Another stone that's excellent for mental, emotional support and balance, along with the throat chakra and healing and clearing that in the throat, expressing our feelings, but bringing some balance to them before they kind of come through. Ah, gaspiite. No, but I'll look for that. So this is larimar. Larimar only comes from the Dominican Republic. It's the only place on earth that it's been found yet. It's absolutely wonderful for emotional balance, bringing down anxiety quite a bit, finding that sort of not running from our feelings, but being able to communicate them in a way that is consistent and ongoing and flowing, much like water, because it does kind of look like water. Yeah, absolutely. Peace and harmony with family. Gotcha. Peace and harmony with family would be carnelian for sure, but I'll add some more. I'll see what else I can find. So we're going to take some larimar with the emotional balance. Let's only have a couple pieces. I'll add those there. Security and stability, definitely red tiger eye and garnet. Let's see what else we would like. Definitely for help with digestion as well as just digestive system in general. as well as some of the things that everyone's bringing up, I'm going to bring in chrysoprase. Chrysoprase is this beautiful green, and it really helps us to, in those moments where we have so much going on and we feel like we can't see the forest for the trees, we're like at the verge of burnout, things like that. It helps us to see that we have come farther along on our journey than we think we have. Helps us to take pride in what we've already accomplished, and helps us to basically take a breath and see, I know I have goals that are way out in the future, but that doesn't mean I'm still at the starting line. Kind of looking back and taking some very heart-centered pride in who we are and how much we've done and how our contributions matter. It can also be an excellent stone in cases of, like I'd said for other stones before too, anybody or anywhere or any group situation, especially in terms of families, that has us feeling as though we haven't gotten as far as we should, quote unquote should. You know, and what's the old expression? Don't show it all over yourself. Don't show it all over me. Yeah, definitely. We are where we are. For any type of dynamic, and I know around like big family holidays like this weekend, in the US, it's Mother's Day. There's a lot of, you know, am I good enough? Did I get there? I'm not at the goal that I want to be. It's not good enough yet. I'm not far along yet. This helps us to say, you know, fill our heart with respect for ourselves and say, I've really gotten a lot of work done along my way. I'm on my path. I'm on my journey. I'm taking my time. I'm doing a good job. I'm valuable and I'm worthwhile. This can be a wonderful stone for that. So it can really help balance mental, emotional in terms of how we relate to others, especially in terms of like growing up, childhood, and moving out of old patterns. Crystal for psoriasis. There's definitely crystals for skin. One of the ones that's often recommended for skin is amethyst. And I feel like amethyst, for what I see in a lot of the different requests, it's really a great stone for tonight, especially for like other people's energy and relationships with families and group relationships. Amethyst helps bring things back into balance in terms of what's mine, what's yours. Is this my stuff or is that your stuff? Is this my insecurity or is this your insecurity? Very much like it's seen as the stone of sobriety and a stone often associated with like 12-step programs, and very much the serenity prayer. Making changes where I can, knowing where I cannot make changes, and the wisdom to know the difference. This can really help a lot with family relationships as well as emotional imbalance. It's like sometimes we just get so emotionally overwhelmed, we just feel like we can't move forward. It's like, what do I pull at first? This can help us to prioritize what we can take a nibble at, what we can actually start to make some chips away at, and say, you know what, yeah, I'm overwhelmed. There's a lot to do. There's a lot farther to go, like chrysoprase helps us with. But here, I'm going to take responsibility for what's mine and work on what's mine and go ahead and let go of what isn't mine or is something that I can't choose to change or isn't something I can change at this time, and help prioritize with the help of garnet which of those is which. So we'll bring some amethyst and additionally, chrysoprase helps with digestive issues too, especially when it's emotional tummy. This also, like I said, amethyst helps with skin. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, future someone, for the suggestion of gaspiite. Let's see, did I get everybody? I think I did. I'm going to go ahead and give us an extra layer of energy clearing and protection too. Black tourmaline helps to keep negative energy at bay. And what do I mean by negative? Lower similar vibration, not an our highest good. It doesn't have to be about judging good versus bad, but just like it's not helping me right now, kind of keeps it out of the way. Also works like a charm for electromagnetic type stuff. And Dalmatian Jasper, which came out at the 4 o'clock. Dalmatian Jasper includes black tourmaline. These black spots are actually inclusions or streaks of black tourmaline going through the jasper. And in this case, it really helps clear the aura, clear the energy field around us. Things we may have kind of soaked up, it can help us to purge them out of our system. So we're going to go ahead and put that here and here. And now I'm going to go ahead and pick 2 stones that I want you all to vote on to see which you would like in this grid. And while you're voting, as per usual, I'll go ahead and quickly explain what Reiki is. And from there, we'll go on ahead into the healing. Yeah, absolutely. So let's go on ahead here. Well, the first one I feel potentially Sunstone. Sunstone helps to expand our vision of ourselves and who we can be and what our potential is. So if we have these limiting beliefs around our potential and I can't do that, that's too hard for me, or I'm not good enough for that, this helps blow that right out of the water. So Sunstone, and it does it with like a ray of positivity and some encouragement with it. And let's pick another. Another is honey calcite. Honey calcite works with the solar plexus as well as the sacral chakra. And so by that I mean it helps to support us with pride in who we are and in not just within ourselves, but also within how we relate to other people, where we can be a little bit more prone to say like browbeating or feeling less than. It works really well with our amethyst friend here because honey calcite helps to warm us up and encourage us and help us to feel worthy, where in a group dynamic we might be inclined to feel less than worthy or less than good enough. And it encourages us to feel more pride in who we are in a very grounded way and pride in what we have to offer. As this amethyst stone reminds us of, okay, what's mine? What do I have to own responsibility of? And what things do I have to let go of because I don't have responsibility or the ability to change that? Honey calcite says, I'm proud of the contributions and the skills and the awareness and ability and all of those things that I am and that I bring forward, and I take pride in that. So it also works with septarian and chrysoprase in that way. So honey calcite, sunstone. Go ahead and vote on which one you want. Those of you who are here regularly know how this usually works out. And while you all vote on that, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like the stream. And I'm just going to take a moment to talk about what Reiki is and how the rest of the event is going to flow. So Reiki is Japanese for spiritually guided life force energy. It's considered a sacred energy that can support our body, mind, and spirit in every imaginable way. At the same time, it only has that intention for good. We all have our own energy fields. We're all working on our own stuff. We're all interconnected in many ways, but this particular energy of Reiki flows through everyone and everything, from my physical body to yours, no matter if you're watching this live or on the replay, through everything behind me and everything behind you. This particular, we all have our own energy fields, but energy flows through these things as well. This spiritually guided energy, which is not religious or dogmatic in any way, it's simply like the building block, or if you'd like to think of it as the cool, clean, fresh, filtered water of the universe. It flows through everything, and its presence allows us to more easily let go of what we no longer need and help replenish us where we're a bit depleted. Help support us to find more balance, whether it's in our emotions, in our physical body, all of the above, none of the above. Get guidance and clarity from our spirit guides and helpers. Whatever your intention is, Reiki can help support that, while at the same time supporting any need that you might have that you might not even be aware of. There's no harmful side effects or anything. This is an energy that already is a part of you, that's already flowing through you. Just like we're mostly made of water, but we don't really think of it that way, we're made of energy. We don't really think of it that way. This particular energy is much like I said earlier, the crisp, clear, filtered water. Just like we need water to survive, even though we are mostly made of it. When we take that water in on a conscious level, we don't have to think about all the processes in our body that help facilitate the use of that water in the best way. Our cells and our body processes on a very subconscious level, they know what to do, and it just happens. Very much the same with Reiki energy. When we feel like we have more good things coming our way, it becomes really easy to let go of what's not. Think of it as it's a lot easier to let go of a job when you have another one lined up. Same kind of idea. When we feel this familiar energy coming into our field or being offered to our field, it's a lot easier to, on a subtle level, invite it in and kind of recalibrate. And how we recalibrate, in what way, and how that shows up in a particular session depends moment to moment. So every session, even if you watch this again on the replay, you'll notice similarities, but it'll be different every time because Reiki energy supports the very natural balance of exactly who we are, and we're always in a different place. So it will meet you where you are and help to reset that balance. During this time, I invite you to sit or lie comfortably. I'll turn down the lights, I'll turn up the music, and I will send healing energy to you, whether you're in the future or here live. At any time, if you think of another healing intention, you can just bring it to mind and let it go, and the Reiki will absolutely support that. And if you don't have any healing intentions other than like, what is this Reiki stuff? Well, isn't it easier to, try a taste of food rather than ask someone to describe it to you? Same kind of idea here. You may also feel as you're receiving Reiki, like you're feeling sensations in your body, you're feeling emotions, maybe you're not quite sure if you're awake or asleep. That all sounds like Reiki. But feel free to, if you feel like you want to get up, move around, or even think. You don't have to quiet your mind or silence your mind, but you can if you want to. And you don't have to focus on anything, although you can if you want to. As I continue sending, if you want to get up, stretch, move, bend, grab a blanket, combine this time with journaling, painting, playing music, whatever works for you, this is your time for self-care and to take care of yourself in the way that naturally appeals to you. So, yeah, that's pretty much the thing. Like I said, you can learn more about me, my online Reiki classes, sessions with me, on social media, all that good stuff in the description below. And let's go ahead and jump right into this session. So let's start by seeing what's been voted on. Honey, calcite, both. The here and now, gotcha. I think I know what you mean. So the here and now, basically, if we're here right now for this Reiki healing, and I think this is what you're mentioning, this Reiki energy will flow to you exactly where you happen to be. And if you happen to be watching this in the future, because energy flows through all things, there's no real constraints as far as time or space. And there's actually been practices of sending Reiki over great distances that date back much, thousands of years before the practice I actually work with. So I hope that answers your question. And I'm seeing a lot of boths and honey calcite, so let's do both. That's how it usually works. We vote on a crystal and we just say both. So honey calcite we'll put right here. And Sunstone we'll go ahead and we'll place around the grid. And I invite you now to get comfortable in any way that works for you. Sitting up, lying down, doesn't matter. You can get up, move around, do whatever you'd like. This time is about you and caring for yourself. We're going to go a little bit over our usual end time, just to let you know. So we'll go as late as 10 after 9. I know that's super late for East Coast time. No, it's not, but still, it's been raining all day. It feels late. So go ahead, get cozy. I'm going to bring up the sound and bring down the lights. At the end of the half-hour session, you'll hear my voice come back in, and I'll invite you to take a deep breath in, begin to open your eyes, slowly start to come back. And at that time, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to use the chat, and I will be more than happy to answer those questions. If you think of a question later, or if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and use the comments or my social media, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much for being here, because it's all of your energy that kind of comes together and sets that communal chi. Thank you for helping co-create this beautiful grid and this beautiful healing space. I hope that you have a beautiful session, and I will see you on the other side of it. invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly start to come back. If you'd like, you can gently move, stretch, or bend, bringing your awareness back to your body. You can also simply stay exactly as you are and continue to enjoy some nice peaceful relaxation for yourself. Thank you all so much for being here. It is an honor and a pleasure to share this healing with all of you. I know I feel better. Feel free to use the chat to ask any questions you might have. If you think of questions later, or if you're watching this on the replay, use the comments or reach out to me through social media and I'll do my best to answer your questions there. And if you'd like to experience this healing again, it'll be available in our past live streams library, where all of our past streams are, so you can enjoy some healing no matter what time it is, no matter where you happen to be. Each is indexed by date and has a picture of the crystal grid we created together so that you can easily find one that feels right to you. Oh wow, your computer shut down in the middle of the session and it was charged. How weird. That's so wild. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you as always. I hope you and your family are well. Yeah, but I was noticing my lights were blinking earlier, like between both streams. We're getting a lot of rain here in Philadelphia all this weekend. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this grid really did turn out quite something. A lot of stones I don't normally use. That I got to spend some times with, which I always appreciate. I'm doing well too, thank you. Excited to, see the seasons change. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the requests for crystals. This is such an amazing grid. It's always so amazing to see how we're all working with so many similar themes and concepts in our lives. Even though it might feel that we're so isolated and alone, we really are going through very similar things, no matter where we happen to be. Again, I think that honey calcite was just perfect for the center. Well, I hope all of you have a beautiful weekend ahead. I'll be here again on Sunday at 8 p.m. and that's Eastern US time. And then as usual, Wednesdays at 4 p.m., Thursdays at 8 a.m. Fridays at 4 and 8 p.m., Sundays at 8 p.m. Always here, same channel. And again, you can find more information about me, Danielle, at Learn Reiki Philadelphia by checking the description for this video. You can find my website, my social media, my Discord, and my crystal shop. All that good stuff is there, and I'm so grateful to have had all of you here. So I'm going to go ahead and, while I'll be active in the chat for several more minutes, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing the stream to a close with immense gratitude for all of you for being here today. I hope that all of you have a beautiful rest of your weekend. I know things are intense right now. We're also in eclipse season. Things are just a little bit bonkers. Just remember, a little bit of relaxation is just a couple clicks away. You can always watch an old healing stream. Remember to do what you can to prioritize yourself in any way, shape, or form. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. I hope to see you again soon. Take care and bye for now.